What's up, everybody? Matt Maran here for another month of stuff I saw. So a decent amount of stuff here over the spring for you guys. So the first thing that I saw this month was I was following behind this Hyundai here. It had a dog in the back that I think was distracting the owner for some reason, because we pull up to this red light here and they stop and then they just decide to go. And I don't know what gave them that idea. It's still red, but they just decided to go. And they didn't save themselves that much time either, because it turned green just a few seconds later. So anyway, that was interesting. The next thing was actually while I was filming a car review. There's a busy intersection here. This was when I was in Oregon. And so this Escape came to the intersection before I did. So once that Volvo passed, the Escape went. So therefore it was my turn next, and I had to wait for another car to pass, and the Jeep was also waiting for that. So I'm getting ready to pull out here, and then the Jeep looks at me and pulls right out in front of me. Like, it bothers me when people don't wait their turn. But yeah, not a huge deal there. One thing that was kind of crazy was this guy that passed me basically on the shoulder at the last minute. It doesn't look that close on camera, but it was pretty close. And he was flying, and I'm like, I'm in the right lane. Like, just get around me in the left like a normal person. But they must have either been really distracted or drunk or something, because they kind of veer off the road there a little bit. It's a little farther away, obviously. It's kind of tough to see. But and then they do it again, and that time they almost went into the grass there. It was a pretty wide, slide there or whatever, and they just continued to fly, and they were a little sketchy, but they kind of got better later on, so maybe they were just really distracted. The next thing though was this person, and this Jeep pulled out, and then this other person, I actually had to hit the brakes to not hit them. They just pulled out right in front of me, and there wasn't even anyone behind me, so they didn't save themselves more than 5 seconds by cutting me off. This person also decided to pull out in front of me, and then they decided to go really slow, and they pulled out of a restaurant, which is important to note because they must have had one too many drinks, as you will see in a minute here. So, of course, they're holding me up. I got to go the same direction as them, though, so I'm stuck behind them. And so they end up making it through the light here at this intersection, and I get held up at the light. But they're going so slow it doesn't even matter, because I catch up to them a little ways down the road here. And you can see they're struggling a little bit to stay in the lane. Not too bad so far, just kind of, pinballing back and forth in the lane a little bit. And they're also going pretty slow during all this as well, though they're not going the speed limit or anything. But yeah, so, I'm just falling behind, just stuck, not really able to go anywhere because we're going the same direction. But then they go over into the double yellow there in the oncoming lane a little bit. And I'm like, okay, well, now I need to give this person some room, because they are actually struggling a little bit more than I thought. So I just follow along here, and you can see they're kind of going off towards the right side of the road, but still staying in the lane there. And then this was the scariest part. They start going into the oncoming lane as this car is coming, and I actually hit my brakes, because I'm giving this guy some space if he has a head-on collision. Yeah, so that was pretty bad. Thankfully, they turned into a residential neighborhood there shortly thereafter, so I'm hoping they got home. They didn't continue driving. Otherwise, I probably would have wanted to call that one in. But anyway, the last thing I saw was this crazy Caterpillar tractor mashed up with, I think, like a 32 Ford or something like that. Pretty cool looking little thing just a few seconds down the road. But yes, that's it for all the stuff I saw this month. Let me know what the craziest thing was that you saw this past month. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.